just say that most of us feel India is a very free country, democratic country, no rules as such. But I will just ask you people, how many of us follow the rules first of all? First we need to change, respect our country, then only change will come. And as we are a very young nation, I would urge more and more youngsters to get involved into things which will somehow help your country to develop. No, I feel India is the best country who can defeat any other country in the world. Only thing is, Indians should be more proud of their citizenship. That is more important.
Nationalism.
Yes.
Good, good, very good. Now, since it's a very important subject, so not only questions, even if you have to add comments, you are allowed. Yes.
I have observed contradiction among your discussions.
Yeah, please.
As you, sir has pointed out that Article 370 is applicable to a particular state. That means
A little louder, please.
persons from other states cannot buy land in that particular state. But you were saying that there should be brought rules or barrier for new immigrants coming to Mumbai. So
I said for financial hubs, where there is more business.
then it looks like it's a contradiction. You are talking about uniformity of.
I didn't say
Yes.
for Bangladesh there is no job. What will 1,000, 1 lakh people come and stay? What is the use? There is no job as such.
So that
As
is
for-
his opinion.
Now Jammu and Kashmir, what you are saying, is a part of India, but it is certain for Jammu and Kashmir specifically. What he is saying is, it should be. He is not saying that Article 370 defines Jammu Kashmir as a part of India, just related to defense and other things. Other than that, the local individuals have the right to do anything. It should not be there. Yeah, it is our country.
See, you are not allowing JNK to develop.
Yeah.
You are not allowing, by restricting by this, you are not allowing the other industry to come there. JNK is
So
only surviving on the tourism.
Yes.
So you
If
should
it
allow.
becomes a part of India totally, it can also develop. Then once it gets developed, the locals have the local advantages. And then if you have certain segments which are free, you can take them in. Even in this class, I think so, it can accommodate 50 people. But at this time, there will be more 10 people who are eager to learn. What is the use? They can't sit. What will you do? They will have to stand outside, right?
I was pointing out that you were talking about uniformity of law.
Yeah, see,
And in
what,
that sense, I was talking.
yeah, what it was, yes, you are right in terms of saying that they are two different, two opposite views,
Yeah, yeah.
okay? But the point about 370 was that there is opportunity over there, but it is not going to, it is not getting developed.
Depriving the
Yeah,
opportunity.
the opportunity
is
we
there.
cannot exploit it because of a certain mandate or the law. Whereas what he was saying was that Mumbai is already overdeveloped.
Already overloaded in that. And plus there is, you have 15% quota of keeping Maharashtrian
Yes.
in that. So there is no use. You utilize where utilize the state which are underdeveloped. You should
That's
utilize
what I
that
said.
stage.
There is a difference between
So
both.
that state should be utilized.
But I appreciate the way you have pointed
Yes,
out.
yes,
Yes,
it was a very good.
Contradiction. I think
very-
it was
yes,
very efficient.
very-
Give him a big
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Any other comment? Yes, ma'am.
Just one, same again at the cost of repetition. Rules is one thing, and our realization, our commitment is another thing. Whatever rules we can frame, we are depending on politicians or rules. But first of all, we have to change our means, our attitude. For example, there is marriage. Muslims can marry they can have more than one wife, which is not allowed in Hindu law. But we have seen some of the celebrities to get married, they are being converted to Muslims and get married.
Yeah, yeah.
So if rules and my own principle, my own commitment to my own country is different and it is based on my own self-achievement or my own self-wishes, then there is no role of rules.
That's the reason he has rightly told that society needs to be
Society
educated.
Educated on
The
this.
awareness has to be spread in everybody.
Yeah. Second thing I just want to point out on what he has told about population. Yes, it is very much required to have a strict rule on population. For example, even in Government of India, we have in central governments, even in our banks, nobody is getting a maternity leave if somebody is having more than 2 children. So somewhere government has pioneered some of the rules. It is only we and we can make a change to that. So this is the
That's the
main
reason we are telling we need
That's
to
why-
debate and we
debate.
are
Yeah,
highlighting this
But
subject.
ma'am, you are educated, that's why you
I
know
know,
the
I know.
importance. But there are many sects who are not.
Almost
Yeah, yeah, and
40%.
sometimes some of the even political leaders, even our religious leaders, like some days in paper, ki every Hindu woman should have 4 children. This is very ridiculous and a common platform to say. And who are these people to take a call on somebody's individual and personal likings or his or her decision? So rule definitely is having, we are having a rule, and if somebody is having more than 2 children, they are not getting all the benefits from the government.
That's the reason we should now start,
Started debate in
educated
real
people
terms.
should come on the board and take
Yeah.
charge to run the country.
Yes.
Yes.
The problem is we are just blaming
Yes.
the game on the government.
Yeah.
We should
Actually,
take charge to run the
we
country.
cannot penalize a certain religious group if their religious group allows more than one marriage. That is their view and that is their belief. And India being a democracy cannot stop one person from practicing his or her own religion. I'm
No,
not
the
saying
reason being
it's
having one
the
more
being
wives,
I
we
mean,
should first understand what was the reason.
No, better.
no, no, it's a right
The
or
reason
wrong.
was meant differently
Yes,
when
yes.
it was introduced.
It,
gives to
it,
adulteration in
it may
society.
lead to a problem for population and all, but it cannot be stopped because it is a religious right and you cannot stop a
Which
particular
is where we are
person
saying that,
from
which is where we are saying that the
Resentment.
law of the country should override the
Uniformity.
religion.
Either
See,
that,
just
either
answer
you
your
allow,
question.
either you
See,
allow every
no-
caste
no
to
one
marry
is
three
above
times.
any
We are not
religion.
saying that you should disallow. Either you allow your caste also to marry 3-4 times. This is what we are telling. We should have uniform code.
and that's
See.
why Indian government cannot be too strict because being a democracy it cannot stop
No, we
people
are not
from-
asking
Brother,
the government to be
that's what you're
strict.
saying.
We are asking to
We
be
understand
uniform.
the challenge.
Either they should be married one or you should be allowed to marry twice.
No, right. I asked you, what happens in the developed countries? For example, Muslims are allowed to marry 3-4 wives. I know.
No, I don't think so.
I know.
I don't think so.
I don't
I don't
know.
think so.
Sir,
In
I
fact-
got no
in fact, even
information.
in-
In developed countries,
It's only in India.
see, a uniform civil code relates to only personal laws.
It is
relates to
civil law.
only no, it relates
Civil
to
law.
personal laws. Personal law boards, like the Muslim law board is there. There's a Hindu law board. There is the Special Marriage Act. These acts
one of
which
the
are there,
point.
these
These
are for
different
special
boards should be-
communities.
That's what he is saying. You-
When you are
Everything
Different
should
boards should
be
be
uniform.
dismissed. There should be
Every
a one
board should be
uniform.
dismissed and there
So
should
when
be a uniform
sir
board.
discussed about toll tax doesn't come into uniform civil.
No, I am telling that.
No, no,
no,
that's
that's-
what he is saying.
You see,
We can
that's just
include.
an example.
It's an example.
Now,
Example I
don't
was
be-
giving.
we don't have to be technical.
Yeah.
It's an example.
It's an example
We
how we
have to understand the spirit.
Yes.
We have to understand the spirit. Now, I simply ask you, okay, in the developed countries, there also there are Muslims out
Yes.
there. Now, there what happens? Are they allowed? I do not.
No.
I don't think so.
Since I don't know, therefore I ask.
But
Yeah,
then
I
the
don't think
scenario
they are
should be different. They are developed countries. Their population may be under control. We face
No, but
different.
no, no,
you are
question
not,
of
you are not
population. It's not a
answering my
question
question.
It's
No,
not a
it is
question
not
of
that.
population, it's a question of principle.
Principle. Now, if they have the democracy,
Middle East may develop.
I think we will.
Sir, they are not allowed.
We will observe one principle
They choose not to marry. They are
that
educated
only
enough
one
not
person.
to.
First, we will listen to them. Yes. Discussion.
They are allowed to marry, but then they have such an education level where they decide because
At education level, I didn't ask.
at least in the
Legally.
I didn't ask. I am only asking
Legally
whether
they are
it
not
is
allowed.
legality or not.
Legally,
It
Yes.
is not allowed, sir.
Not allowed.
For example, in case of France, women are not allowed to use burqa and come into the school.
Yes.
It is not allowed.
Yeah, even France, I think just to
Yeah,
answer your question,
yeah.
you mentioned about
Yeah.
India being a secular country. Turkey, which was the headquarters of the Muslim, till the First World War. Okay? After they lost the war, the empire was done. One person, it has become a secular, even though 98% of the Turkey's population is Muslim, but they are still secular in the sense that they follow all secular religious laws. There is no specific Muslim laws. So if an Islamic country can, can achieve that, why can
can't
a
us?
secular country not
Why
achieve
can't
that?
I?
See, I think majority in our country, we try to be too generous.
Yes, sir.
Or try to
Yes,
be too
yes,
liberal.
actually.
The votes
At the cost of
Ourselves,
Yes.
and we are being taken granted.
Granted, that's what we want
We
to make
Indians
sure.
are always, we can do anything and get away of it. This is the
So it is not to hurt anyone's religious sentiments. We do appreciate everyone. Create awareness. I feel so the majority of the country, as ma'am rightly said, is taken for granted.
Sir, I want to add one
Yes,
more point
yes,
to the
yes.
nationalism, sir. What we have seen that the nationalism is not been our part of our education system.
You are right.
Now, I just want to share one example. There is one bar in the Germany. In that bar, you can well imagine with what sort of people come in the bar. So there was a huge fight between two groups. So the bar owner was tense how to control these groups because his property was getting damaged. Then he found out one solution. He immediately played German national anthem. So what happened? Because of the national anthem, everybody stood still.
That's what.
See, that is what is nationalism. How many of us see? How many of us believe that if anyone of the bar owner plays national anthem in a bar and all people will stand still?
It is still fine.
Now, this is something which must change.
And secondly, sir, secondly about the military.
We will observe one person to speak it.
Yeah.
Secondly, what I observed in Turkey, in Israel, the military training is provided to every citizen. It is compulsory for them to undergo military training. So because of that, you can see a 19-year-old girl is handling automatic weapon. At the same time, if you observe in India, 19 to 18-year-old people, they are handling only WhatsApp phones. That is a system that we have
At least
to
self-defense
inculcate
can be
military
included,
training.
not,
Yes.
or not automatic weapons.
Very
School
good.
level, self-defense
can be
so that
compulsory.
yeah,
What I mean
every
to tell-
individual will be self-sufficient to at least protect
level.
himself.
So
that
see,
can
And
be
again, if
that
you
is what I
make
want to
it a
tell.
rule, how many religious people will come forward to block it? Like Khap Panchayat in Haryana or in some.
See, that is the reason because
girls will not
even
do
though
like
Israel is
this.
boycotted country, no country decides
Yes.
to attack them
Attack
because
it,
they
yeah.
know
Yeah.
that every citizen is capable of being soldier.
Yes.
At the same time, we are people of 125
Yeah.
125 crore people, but and we are a soft target for smaller countries.
Yes.
Why?
It is not
Because
really
we think right now.
Israel is not just, you are saying very strong because the citizens are.
This is one fact,
No,
one
One
factor.
factor.
One factor.
You see, he
There are
was
many.
not-
They are ahead of technology, weapons.
He wanted
He
to.
said, let me just a moment.
Yes.
He said that Israel military training is compulsory, or for that matter, Turkey is
It
compulsory.
is compulsory.
They have a different historical background for that.
Yes.
But in our case, we cannot match these cultures. What we're talking about is uniform civil code. I'm just trying to link as what is the
Personal law. It is related to personal law, sir.
No, I'm talking about nationalism.
Personal law.
No,
He was
he
speaking
talked
about
about
nationalism.
nationalism.
We are talking about
Anyway,
uniform civil code is related to
anyway,
personal law.
nationalism is not really
It's not
connected
national.
to this. That's not the subject. Since you talked about, yes,
But it was a good.
nationalism is a concern.
Yes, it's a concern.
It's a big concern.
Yes.
Can make us binding, everybody on a common platform with a common rule. That is why the
Yes.
rule of nationalism came, and we can apply the civil laws uniformly for everyone.
Okay, I think we had a very good, useful discussion. Now, would you like to even spend 5 minutes to note down and then summarize the entire thing? Will you be able to do?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, because you are the best person. You have already discussed.
Discussed.
Yes.
So summarize means all the points.
Yes, summarize. Okay, you say we had a very useful discussion on this. Our team presented our points of view, and the entire audience also participated. And I find this is what is the result.
And participating in this discussion. So to briefly summarize what we have discussed, one is we feel a uniform civil code is something which is going to be very beneficial to everyone in the long run. There will be people, there will be communities, there will be interest groups that will get affected because of applying this. So what will be needed is a change in mindset, which is going to take some time, but we cannot depend on people thinking on their own. So that is why we'll need to get a discussion or multiple discussions going where we define what are the various facets of the Uniform Civil Code that we are thinking of, and on each of these facets, okay, we have different groups which come together, religious and social organizations that come together, along with the legislatures and executives in all states and across at a national forum. We come across that and develop a plan with a well-defined time frame as to how we expect the Uniform Civil Code to be implemented. It is not a single, one single passing of a law in the legislature which is going to achieve this. It will go through a lot of discussion, lot of debate, and maybe it will be in a different form from what it is initially proposed. But that will only enrich the the discussion and make it more robust and get more people to accept what is there. So what we feel is required is a debate on the Uniform Civil Code, and finally whatever form it takes eventually, and it will get passed over multiple phases of time, multiple periods, and but it would be a step, it would be a process rather than just a simple event. So
Good.
that's what we feel.
Good, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The thing is, if I am able to participate in conferences, if I am able to express clearly, effectively that I know that much, and that is what I have done, that is what in the field in which he was orthopedic surgeon and he was working in BPT. He says, I am rotting. That's a problem. Now, I do not know anything about medical field, but I think if medical people or engineers or architects are great communicators, so they will definitely, the good ones will come up. They'll come up faster, and that's how it should be. It should not be just somebody gets some kind of benefit from some organization or sponsorship or some celebrities endorsing. That should not be there. Okay, I am going to this doctor. If a celebrity says, okay, so and so I am going to this doctor. Amitabh Bachchan is going, he must be a good. So, I think if communication is taught, communication means the speech, the language, and the entire thing along with it, what we have been discussing since yesterday. Things will be lot better, not only for our professions, but also for our country. Today, what we find so far in the past 10 years, we go to international fora, our professionals go, either they fight, come back, or they accept everything. So how you are able to put your point of view unless you are a very good communicator? So that means communication is affecting professionals, affecting our country's politics, it is affecting everything. So therefore, how to prepare? Now there are, according to me, broadly speaking, there are 3 types of presentations or speeches. 1, presentation to inform, which I have given one example. 2, presentation to persuade.
Sir, page number?
Page number 30. No, this is with you. This is with you, don't worry about it.
Page number 30.
30. The second is presentations to persuade. Now, for example, an insurance man, he would like to speak on that insurance should not be sold, it should be bought. Because insurance is important. But unless and until there is some people to persuade, it will not happen. Then presentations to entertain. Unfortunately, that is totally missing. Humor is totally missing in life.